Hello! Today we're taking a look around the NBA, checking out Spurs versus Nuggets, then turning our attention to the Phoenix Suns matchup against the Mavericks. I'm Frank Spiro. Let's talk basketball. Welcome to our first Tuesday episode of Let's Talk Basketball. Here's what to expect. It will be shorter, it will have more segments, and at the 5-minute mark, I ooze a goo that hardens into a cocoon, enveloping me in a transformative darkness. Then tune in on Friday for our second show of the week to see what I turn into. I doubt it's what you're expecting. Let's take a look around the NBA! After a tumultuous few weeks, the Washington Wizards beat the Brooklyn Nets on Sunday night, 149-146. No, that game did not go to overtime. And if you're sitting there going, wow, these teams must be really good at offense. Well, kind of. You're half right. Russell Westbrook dropped 41, while Bradley Beal showed up with 37 points. And it's possible this win might be a watershed moment for this Wizards team, which is a phrase that is nonsense. Why does that mean what it means? Despite their win against the Nets, trade rumors for Bradley Beal are coming to a boil, as the Wizards have been struggling, going 3-7 in their last 10, even though Beal is playing out of his mind. The issue is, he's just not enough. The Wizards have lost the last 10 games in which Bradley Beal has scored 40 points or more, which just goes to show you can't win a three-legged race if your partner is a corpse. Beal getting traded wouldn't just be a big story for Wizards fans. It could potentially swing the title race. Beal leads the league in scoring. He also leads the league in looking like he's not angry, just disappointed in everyone.
See Bradley Beal taking a seat, shaking his head.
When asked if he was feeling frustrated, Beal had this to say.
Is the sky blue?
As someone who's been very strict about quarantining during a dark winter, I don't remember. But hey, maybe that's all turning around. Teams in Washington's situation against the Nets on Sunday, down 5 or more in the final 10 seconds of a game, are 9 and 23,498. What's even crazier than that is that 2 of those 9 happened this past weekend. One of those was the Wizards' win. The other was Portland's win over Chicago. That's like winning the lottery and then getting struck by lightning the next day, which is only slightly better than getting struck by lightning and then winning the lottery. Because in the first scenario, at least you get one good day. If you haven't seen the final sequence of Portland's win over Chicago, you've got to check it out. Here.
With their highest scoring quarter of the game here in the fourth quarter so far. Dame gets it with White checking. Dame, deep look from outside. There's the three.
And now you deny everything.
Levine gets tied up, and it's going to be a jump ball. So Gary Trent Jr. getting both mitts on the leather. 41, Gary Trent Jr. to jump against a 2-time slam dunk champion. Blazers get the tip. 5 seconds left. Covington trying to get it to Dame. He puts it on the floor. Step back three from Dame. Oh! Painted! Damian Lillard! Game winner in Chicago!
The only other thing Lauri Markkanen could have done to prevent that shot is create a time machine and stop Damian Lillard from being born. Or if he couldn't stop the birth, at least he could stop him from growing up. Oh, my God. That is dark. Did I write that? Things are getting so dark. Is there anyone you'd rather have in that situation than Dame Lillard? This guy is clutch personified. For those of you who are middle school English students, personification is when you attribute human-like qualities to an object, like a sponge that talks, or a toaster that talks, or Hugh Grant. Cody Zeller posterized Giannis this week.
Cody darts to the basket. Oh, he's throwing in the freak.
I think Zeller becomes MVP now. Is that how that works? Is he now the first actively balding MVP? Let's get to some highlights. Nuggets and Spurs tipping off. Jokic getting started early finds Gary Harris on the backdoor cut. Then Jamal Murray getting involved, slam dunk there, then follows it up with a three-pointer, and then a little defense from Jamal Murray. Who knew? Hits the step-back three-pointer on the fast break. But the Spurs would match early. DeMar DeRozan hits the tough mid-range jumper there, then finds Patty Mills for the three-pointer. Spurs take the lead. The matchup we've all been waiting for. Rudy Gay versus Michael Porter Jr. hits the three. Oh no, it's Rudy Gay. Gay with a nice pass. Michael Porter Jr. answers with another three. Then Gay to the Spurs Murray, DeJounte Murray, who hits the mid-range jumper. Then DeMar DeRozan using patience to finish out the first half. The second half was a showdown between Jokic and DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan hitting a three here, that's new to his game. Then Jokic hitting a three. He's been struggling from deep this season, but got it going in this one. DeRozan getting three the hard way there. If you look closely, that one actually hits a bird. Then DeRozan with the smooth Euro. Jokic needs MapQuest. Is that a dated reference? DeRozan hits the mid-range turnaround. Now in a different camera view, that's way worse, we see Jokic hitting a three. DeJounte Murray, though, was on fire this game. Hits the mid-range there, then the corner three off the feed from DeRozan. They call that play the statue, because you just see it and keep going. DeJounte Murray, though, would not be stopped. Gets the steal on defense, misses the lay-in, gets his own rebound, though, and puts it home. Final score, Spurs 119, Nuggets 109. The San Antonio Spurs are on a roll early this year. And look, these aren't your Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker Spurs of yesteryear. They were good, but they were old and kind of boring. But hey, that's classic Coke for you. This team though, buddy, this team today is like when Coke changed their recipe in the 1980s. They're new Coke, they're hip, they're young, they're ultra athletic, and sometimes they're even bad. The young trio of Lonnie Walker IV, Keldon Johnson, and DeJounte Murray are without a doubt the future of the Spurs. Not only are they playing effectively on offense, they have been fantastic on defense, leading the Spurs to the 9th best defense in the NBA thus far. It doesn't hurt that people in Texas hear the trio Walker, Johnson, Murray and think to themselves, oh heck yeah, they're rebooting my favorite show. Part of the success of this Spurs team is that the roster construction is kind of brilliant. Their young players play defense and keep them in games. Then, once things slow down in the fourth quarter, their veteran leaders DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge show up to bring them home. DeRozan ranks 9th in the NBA in clutch time points scored, which is impressive because it feels like he's kind of been forgotten about as an NBA player. But that doesn't bother DeMar. That's just who he is. Yeah, sure, he's been hurt before, but hurt can be fuel. Pain? Oh, you mean the brother of love? DeRozan knows it well. He knows it like he knows himself. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. Denver has picked up their winning pace as of late, going 7-3 in their last 10. However, they still have an Achilles heel. They've been bad in the third quarter, with a net rating of -4, which is good, or bad rather, for 23rd in the league. It does kind of make you think that Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic's halftime shtick, where they force their teammates to watch them recite, "Hello Mutta, hello Father," just isn't working. Even if Denver can't get things to work out basketball-wise, they can always resort to different methods.
Place. Right there. That was the old Sean Livingston on Dirk maneuver from a few years back.
As
he hit him in the balls. Let's get to another highlight. Mavs and Suns. Luka Doncic getting things started early with the deep three. Tim Hardaway getting it done on defense. Then he runs down the court, throws it to Luka Doncic, who slams it. He grabs it. Well, it's 2 points. Cauley Stein finding Hardaway Jr. Well, they're doing it on defense too. Rejects it. Then Dwight Powell embarrasses Frank the Kaminsky method.
You know, she was half my age.
Half your age is still an old woman.
But the Kaminsky method got renewed. It puts it in there. Then DeAndre Ayton gets the jump hook to go. Chris Paul gets in the lane, finishes nicely, then ends the half with a gorgeous mid-range jumper. Up by 2 at half. Doncic would take over in the third. Finds Dorian Finney-Smith on the oop finish. A deep three here. Then he hits DeAndre Ayton with a little up and under. That's nifty. And which Dallas star is this? Looks like Dirk Nowitzki on the step back. Netflix renewing the Kaminsky method again. Then DeAndre Ayton hitting the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar jump hook to tie the game. And Cam Johnson hits the three to take the lead. Dallas wouldn't go away easy though. THJ finds James Johnson cutting to the hoop, but Chris Paul's a veteran. Hits the step back jumper, then the three-pointer to take the lead. Luka would try to keep his team in it, finds Willie Cauley-Stein, but this is why the Suns got Chris Paul. Hits the mid-range jumper, then finds DeAndre Ayton on the alley-oop slam. Jay Crowder three, that's a dagger. Final score, Suns 111, Mavs 105. After a scorching hot start to the season, the Suns have been struggling as of late, going 4-6 over their last 10 games. Part of the issue for this Suns team is despite having a top 10 scoring offense, they rank dead last in fourth quarter scoring, averaging only 23.7 points in the fourth. Which is like going on a first date, hitting it off, going back to yours, and then listening to the Star-Spangled Banner and crying until your date leaves. That's not what you're supposed to do. You've blown it. For the Mavericks, things have been a little touch and go, as the team has struggled with COVID issues so far this season. Due to 4 to 5 players a night consistently being unable to play, Dallas has been forced to rely on players like Trey Burke and James Johnson to fill huge roles on offense. Trey Burke actually has one of the most interesting stat lines in the NBA. He's in the 100th percentile in turnover percentage, meaning he almost never turns the ball over. But his assist percentage of 10% puts him in the 0 percentile for point guard assists. And you can't make bad passes if you never pass. The issue for this Dallas team is that Luka Doncic needs to do it all. The Mavericks' offensive rating drops 14.2 points per 100 possessions when Doncic isn't on the floor, which is like when you're teaching your kid how to ride a bicycle and you're holding the bike while your kid is riding, and then you let go without them knowing. But then when they realize they're doing it themselves, they panic and explode. Try explaining that one to your partner. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. These are the people who helped me with today's show. This week, why don't you give us your preferred Bradley Beal trade scenario? Give us your best imaginary trade for Bradley Beal. If it's particularly creative, we'll shout you out on next week's show. Or actually this week's show. Because on Friday, we're coming out with a new episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Frank Spiro. This has been Let's Talk Basketball. Bye-bye.